Jasmine Crockett still conceals the meaning of Hot Wheels. The Texas congresswoman still won't apologize over making fun of Texas Governor Abbott's disability. Here's what she said that kicked it off.
We in these hot-ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now.
Whoa.
And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot-ass mess, honey. So,
Now, she claims that she wasn't talking about Abbott's wheelchair at all. Yet she's mentioned Abbott's wheels before. In 2022, she posted Beto's rolling around the state. Where's Abbott rolling?
Have you ever seen what happens when Jasmine Crockett walks into a heated debate with Gutfeld and Tyrus, convinced she's about to take control? She showed up armed with a worn-out slogan like it was her secret weapon, wearing that overly confident smile that basically said, "I've got this," only to watch her reasoning disappear into oblivion before she could even catch her breath. Gutfeld's sarcasm didn't just hit, it slammed into her like a runaway train, scattering her talking points in every direction. Then Tyrus jumped in, and he didn't just throw shade, he unleashed punchlines so sharp they could have cracked the set. Crockett ended up looking less like a political powerhouse and more like someone who accidentally wandered into a comedy roast where she was the unwilling star. She tried to fire back, but every response was met with double the force, dripping in mockery and wrapped in the razor-edged TV banter Greg and Tyrus are famous for. So what exactly set off this verbal beatdown?
She's so rotten, she wants migrants picking cotton. We present to you Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who made this shocking argument why America needs immigrants. Roll it, Alfred.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands.
Just when the wheels fall off.
You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
Tyrus, I go to you for no particular reason.
The reason this clip keeps getting replayed like a championship knockout is simple. Once you watch it, you'll instantly understand why people are still talking and laughing about the train wreck. Jasmine Crockett, a name that sounds like it belongs on an 80s movie poster, slow motion shot with an explosion behind her, should be bursting onto the scene with raw energy, razor-sharp comebacks, and a spark that commands attention. Instead, she's stuck playing political chess with a broken pawn, moving in circles and wondering why she's losing. You'd expect fire, maybe some style, something bold that leaves a lasting impression, but all she's got is a rinse-and-repeat playlist of political buzzwords, tossing out tired catchphrases like confetti at a parade nobody bothered to attend. And when the debate heats up, she retreats into finger-waving theatrics, looking like she's trying harder to convince herself than anyone else that she's in control. The problem is she doesn't come across as a fighter for the people. She looks like someone trapped in an endless Zoom meeting about how to fight the system, oblivious to the fact that the real action is happening far outside her digital bubble. The more she talks, the more it feels like she's auditioning for a role in political improv instead of actually playing the game.
From there, Governor. I'm going to explain to you what happened. Okay. Same thing that happened on this show.
Yes.
She got the job. That was the get the job voice. Remember when I first met you? Good evening, Gutfeld.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. It's a real pleasure to be here. Oh, cool. Once I got the job, look at what it is. Let's crack jokes. So that's all it is. That's all it is. You know, just.
Now, Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett shot into the spotlight faster than one of those TikTok dances everyone copies for a week before forgetting, except her viral moment had little to do with substance and everything to do with being in the right place, wearing the right expression, at the right time. She's perfected the look of deep seriousness while saying nothing new, a skill that might earn likes in the influencer world but falls flat in politics. Let's be real, her track record is paper thin. If she were a Netflix series, critics wouldn't be raving, they'd be warning viewers about full-on binge regret. You hit play expecting action, drama, maybe some game-changing moments, but instead you get endless trailers, overhyped teasers, and a plot that never delivers the twist. Her brand is built on optics, sharp blazers, practiced camera poses, and a look that says, "I'm in charge," but when you look at what she's actually achieved, It's like waiting for the movie's hero to show up and they never do. All style, no substance, just a highlight reel of promises that fade once the cameras are off. Her stance on law and order is the classic political two-step: talk tough on crime to seem strong, then slide in a "maybe we should redefine crime" to keep activists happy. Translation: she wants the woke points without doing the hard work. It's the kind of balancing act that leaves both sides wondering if she even knows which team she's on. Like watching someone try to pat themselves on the back while asking a stranger to do it for them, awkward, clumsy, and nowhere near as impressive as they think. Nothing screams leadership like a policy stance that's basically a riddle nobody wanted. And her speeches, well, they've got all the punch of a soggy tortilla, limp, forgettable, and impossible to take seriously. They're stuffed with recycled buzzwords, feel-good filler, and just enough woke jargon to sound important. But scratch the surface and it's nothing but vapor.
To get the job, you gotta leave the Negro at home and do the what it is afternoon, and then once you get in, you can say whatever you want to say. Listen, everyone talks different with their crew and their people. Everyone has a different way of talking when they're with other people or whatever. She's too comfortable, and she thinks she's clever when she does that. But here's the cold part: somebody's writing that for her.
Yeah.
That's why she had to remember and look back, because apparently Hot Wheels she thought was going to be someone thought it was a wonderful joke and it was going to do well. So she set it up, but she doesn't read good because she's like, and this, and then she said the Hot Wheels, and as soon as she said it, it didn't get the reaction that she thought it would.
Half the time, it's hard to tell if Jasmine Crockett is running for political office or auditioning to be the keynote speaker at a mindfulness retreat, and either way, the result is the same. You walk away wondering what she actually said and why you bothered listening. You half expect her to wrap up every sentence with "namaste" or "let's vibe check this issue," because that's how airy and weightless her delivery feels. But her weak speeches are just the appetizer. The main course is a lineup of progressive policies that look great on paper but collapse in practice faster than a dollar store lawn chair. Take her big push for crime reform. On the surface, it's wrapped in compassion, fairness, and second chances. But strip away the feel-good buzzwords and it's like trying to fix a leaky roof with glitter glue. It might catch the light for a moment, but it's not holding anything together. Yes, helping people matters, but maybe don't blow a hole through the justice system in the process. That's not reform, that's chaos with a PR spin. Then there's the spectacle of her legislative work, bills rolled out with flashy titles and polished talking points, like party favors at an exclusive event. They make noise when you first open them, but the excitement fizzles in seconds, leaving you wondering why you even paid attention. It's all sizzle, no steak, just symbolic gestures dressed up as groundbreaking change. She's great at grabbing headlines, no question, but when it comes to passing meaningful laws, her track record is about as sturdy as a sandcastle at high tide. If she really wants a lasting legacy, she might want to build something that endures longer than a trending hashtag or a viral tweet.
We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
Tyrus, I go to you for no particular reason. Is she making any point there?
Like this makes me wish my mom made different father choices.
And then there's that self-righteous flair, as if she's been handpicked by destiny to lead some grand revolution. But here's the reality check. The only thing truly revolutionary about her is how quickly she's mastered the art of talking for minutes without saying anything concrete. Sure, it's a skill, but not the one voters thought they were signing up for. Her real polish shows up on social media, where she's running a masterclass in virtue signaling, perfectly curated selfies with the right filters, the approved hashtags for every trending cause, and captions that sound profound until you realize they're hollow. She's quick to hop on the cancel train, calling out other people's flaws while sidestepping any serious scrutiny of her own record. It's the political equivalent of shouting from the sidelines without ever stepping onto the field, great for the highlight reel, but when it's game time, she's nowhere near the ball. It's like watching a soap opera where the lead never ages but spends every episode griping about the script and expecting applause for it. And then there's Tyrus. He doesn't just roast, he obliterates. His verbal shots were so sharp you'd think Crockett had just tried to slip a political cheat code past him.
This is why when white people write black slang, weird happens.
Yeah.
And this is what happens.
Well,
Like, if I wanted to get ethnic on somebody, I wouldn't call Joe and be like, "Hey, Joe, write me some hood." No offense, Tyrus. I get right to it. Gee Willikers, that's not the guy. What? That doesn't sound like Joe Mackey?
The whole scene played out like a heavyweight champ going toe-to-toe with a featherweight who thought they were showing up for a ballet recital. One side packing knockout power, the other spinning in circles hoping for style points. Spoiler alert, Crockett's not just losing the round, she's getting flattened by the 1-2 punch of hard facts and the uncomfortable reality of her own contradictions. She says she stands for the people, but her record shows she's more interested in standing on the right side of a hashtag than on the right side of reality. It's the classic political trap: master the optics, keep the selfies sharp, post just enough to look engaged, and hope no one checks the scoreboard. But with Greg and Tyrus in the ring, there's no hiding behind filters and hashtags. Under the bright lights, all that performative activism looks less like leadership and more like an overpriced Instagram shoot. And here's the irony: while Jasmine Crockett is out shouting for systemic change, the only system she's mastered is political self-preservation. She's like the student who volunteers for every project, signs up for every committee, but somehow never turns in the homework, loud on participation, silent on results. If you're looking for a leader who can turn fiery rhetoric into tangible change, you'll be searching a long time, because Crockett's brand of progress is all sizzle and no steak. Her politics are pure theater, more style than substance, more flash than follow-through, and far more drama than actual deliverables. She talks about change like it's a limited edition drop you can pre-order online, complete with influencer unboxing videos, and her take on justice sounds like she's pitching a boutique brand: sleek packaging, trendy hashtags, express delivery. But open the box and all you'll find are recycled slogans with a return policy that expired before you even got it.
Dana, Governor Hot Wheels, she claims that had nothing to do with the fact that he actually moves by wheels in a wheelchair, and he's good looking.
Her cleanup was worse. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen. It was super dumb. So basically she's saying, I didn't do it. And even I did do it, though, we're the victim.
At the end of the day, Jasmine Crockett's politics aren't about fixing the system, they're about perfecting the image. And in this game, image fades fast once the receipts start coming in. She peppers words like equity, systemic reform, and community-led solutions into nearly every sentence, as if sprinkling seasoning on a dish and hoping no one notices the main ingredient is missing. It's political fairy dust, sounds inspiring in a soundbite, but vanishes the moment you ask, okay, but how exactly are you going to make that happen? That's when the magic trick unravels. Her version of justice is the political equivalent of rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. She's not fixing the leak. She's not even acknowledging the ship is sinking. She's just debating what color the chairs should be. Meanwhile, voters who actually want safer streets, stronger communities, and tangible results are left scrolling through her feed, scratching their heads as she tweets about defunding the police on Monday and then promises common-sense crime measures by Friday. Real common sense doesn't involve leaving everyone confused about where you stand. 1 minute, she's railing against the establishment, branding herself as the fearless outsider ready to dismantle the corrupt machine. The next, she's posing for photos with special interest groups and party insiders who are about as anti-establishment as a Starbucks on every corner. That's not strategy, it's political shape-shifting, and voters are catching on. It's the kind of identity crisis that makes you wonder if she actually has a vision or if she's just wandering through the political buffet line, piling her plate with whatever looks good in the moment: a scoop of tough-on-crime to appease moderates, a ladle of defund the police to keep activists happy, and a sprinkle of systemic reform to check the woke box. By the time she's done, her plate is overflowing with contradictions and not a single dish that actually works together.
Crockett's got another hot take: no blacks and whites on a wedding cake. The Democrats' new chosen one, Jasmine Crockett, is in the news again for an old clip where she attacked Florida Rep. Byron Donalds for marrying a white woman. Roll it, Bertha.
Or literally, it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you.
That's not very woke, is it?
Then there's her messaging: or more accurately, the Bermuda Triangle where her messaging disappears. If Jasmine Crockett's political career were a Netflix show, it wouldn't be a drama or a comedy, it would be called Cliffhangers and Contradictions. Every time she speaks, you think you're about to hear a clear, solid answer, but instead you're left staring at the screen wondering, wait, so what's the point here? Is she for reform? Against reform? Does she want more policing or less policing? You'd get more clarity trying to solve a Rubik's Cube in the dark while someone keeps spinning it in your hands. And here's the kicker, she seems completely fine with that confusion. In fact, she thrives on it, because the less people understand, the easier it is for her to pivot when the political winds shift. Her policy pitches read like they were pulled straight from a BuzzFeed quiz titled "Which Progressive Are You?" She'll float an idea like juvenile justice reform, and on paper, it sounds compassionate and noble. But dig even a little deeper, and you realize she hasn't outlined a single concrete step for how it would work in communities already struggling with serious crime. It's all branding, no blueprint, politics built on hashtags instead of hard plans. And the truth is, hashtags don't keep neighborhoods safe, and they definitely don't build trust. It's like slapping a band-aid on a broken leg, giving a thumbs up, and walking away as if the job's done.
Is that he is a hot mess, honey.
Of course, Crockett now claims Hot Wheels was about shipping migrants out of the state. Don't you get that? Not the governor's condition. If only there was video that perfectly encapsulates the liberal inability to land a lick on MAGA. Turns out we have one. Roll it, Bjorn.
He's a racist. How can I be racist? He's a racist. Okay, if you voted for Trump, you're racist.
I hope you enjoy that.
Never get tired of that.
But hey, credit where it's due, Crockett can work a podium. Her speeches sound like someone binge-watched a month's worth of TED Talks, cherry-picked the most inspiring lines, and stitched them together into a 30-minute remix. There's passion, pacing, and enough buzzwords to fill a corporate diversity handbook, but when you start searching for concrete, practical solutions, the page is blank. Watching her speak is like watching a motivational poster come to life. She's got the tone, the cadence, the hand gestures, but real problems can't be solved with platitudes alone. And here's the kicker, while she's out front talking about justice reform and equity, some of the most urgent issues in her own district sit there collecting dust, streets that need repairs, schools that need resources, communities that need real protection. Somehow those things keep getting lost in her shuffle of press conferences and photo ops. The truth is, people don't just want activism, they want action, results they can see and feel in their neighborhoods, not just hashtags and sound bites for the evening news. But Crockett seems far more focused on polishing her political resume for whatever the next big run might be. That's the problem, she's not building for the people she represents, she's building for the brand she's selling. And if you were hoping she had a rock-solid record on bread and butter issues like economic development or education, brace yourself. The reality is about as underwhelming as a movie trailer that turns out to be better than the actual film. Her policies in these areas follow the same formula as the rest of her political playbook. Big flashy headlines to grab attention, ambitious promises that sound bold in a press release, and nothing substantial to back them up when it's time to deliver. It's like she's competing in a political game show where the grand prize goes to most inspirational politician, but the trophy voters actually want is for most effective lawmaker. Spoiler alert, she's not winning that one. And then there's her favorite skill, rhetoric.
Of course, Crockett isn't the only Democrat who's opposed to interracial marriage, or else more Democrats would have voted for this one. Racist! Tyrus, I go to you for no apparent reason. Do you have an opinion on this? Or should I move on to somebody?
No, I just... It has to come from me.
Yes.
Okay. None of y'all are qualified. Not just for one thing, I'm mad at Charmaine the guy because he should have kicked her out. See, the problem is that we are allowing our own culture to be openly racist and get away with it. Now, if a white person is offended by that, and they should be,
Crockett has a talent for wrapping even the vaguest ideas in polished, crowd-pleasing language that makes them sound like groundbreaking visions for the future. But listen closely, and you'll notice she almost never gets into the how. How will the funding work? How will communities actually see the benefits? How will it avoid the same pitfalls that derailed similar policies in the past? Those answers never seem to make it past the soundbite stage. The result is a string of speeches that leave people briefly inspired but no closer to real solutions. In the end, Crockett's brand of politics is like a luxury gift box, beautifully packaged, tied with a perfect ribbon, only to open it and find nothing inside. And oh, the rhetoric. If her speeches were a drink, they'd be a frothy cocktail made with equal parts hope, buzzwords, and a splash of "we'll see." She can toss out terms like intersectionality and community empowerment with the ease of someone reading a script at a political TEDx event, and in the moment it sounds important, visionary even. But the problem is she almost never follows those grand declarations with the details. No roadmap, no numbers, no timeline. It's the political equivalent of ordering a fancy artisan latte topped with perfect latte art, only to take a sip and realize it's just warm milk, all style, zero caffeine kick. And here's the kicker, despite this hollow track record, Crockett still manages to hold on to both her seat and her spotlight. Why? Because politics often isn't about what you do, it's about how loudly you say it, how confidently you present it, and how perfectly you curate your image online. And that's a game she's mastered. Her Twitter feed is a highlight reel of carefully selected causes, hot takes engineered for retweets, and photo ops designed to make her look like she's everywhere at once.
They say something, it's like, it's not the same thing. But if you say that, and another brother looks at you and goes, man, you wrong for that. And I don't want you on my show. Get the hell out. Because I'm telling you right now, if I was not on the show, which happens sometimes, and someone was sitting in his chair and he was complaining about black men this and black that, and they shouldn't be here. And you know what happens when a white woman marries a black guy? You would not have seen that guy in the next segment. He would have kicked his ass off, because you're not going to talk about somebody that I care about like that, or another person like that. That's the problem.
She's mastered the craft of appearing endlessly busy while offering very little in terms of actual substance. And in today's political climate, that alone can be enough to keep someone in power, at least until voters start looking beyond the hashtags and into the actual track record. If nothing else, it's an achievement worthy of an award for sheer skill. The ability to sustain a political career built almost entirely on contradictions is a talent in its own league. Meanwhile, Tyrus and Gutfeld aren't in the business of handing out participation trophies. They go in hard, and their takedown of Crockett's rhetoric is like watching a child pull back the curtain in The Wizard of Oz, only to find that the great and powerful figure is just someone frantically yanking levers behind a wall of smoke and mirrors. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's sharp, it's relentless, and honestly, it's exactly the response she invited by leaning so heavily on optics over results. They dissect her talking points with surgical precision, exposing the inconsistencies, the half-baked promises, and the glaring voids in her plans. And they do it with such perfect timing and flair that you can't help but laugh, even as you realize the issues they're highlighting are serious. Like when they call out her mixed messaging on community safety, talking tough about protection one day, then backing measures that even seasoned policy experts find baffling, or when her grand reform ideas come off less like structured policy proposals and more like something dreamed up during a late-night brainstorming session with a magic 8-ball.
We let too much slide, because that's embarrassing. So what you're basically saying is Barack Obama was not the first black president now. So that means that Donald Trump is the first black president, according to you.
Yeah.
So at some point, and listen, I have been with every shade of woman on the planet. I started out black, and then I went Pacific Islander, Asian, had a little Hispanic phase, and then I ran out of to do and ended up with a white one. That's just how it happens. But they're all, I'm telling you, they all bitch the same, they all take your money the same, they all don't sleep with you all the time the same, and they all leave you the same.
In the end, they make it obvious that beneath the speeches, hashtags, and staged photo ops, there's little holding her platform together, and once that truth is exposed, the illusion falls apart. When it comes to accountability, Jasmine Crockett's track record is as slippery as a politician caught in the middle of a scandal, moving too fast to ever admit wrongdoing, dodging tough questions like she's playing a never-ending game of political dodgeball, avoiding responsibility, weaving around criticism, and clinging to a carefully crafted, champion of the people, image. The issue is that image is about as believable as a counterfeit bill, making her a walking contradiction caught in a constant social media storm, promising the world but delivering mostly noise. She has all the trending buzzwords at her disposal but none of the follow-through to give them weight. The passion exists, but the plan doesn't. The speeches are there, but the substance is missing. That's why, when Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus go after her, it's more than comedy. It's a blunt reality check exposing the gap between the image she promotes and the results she actually produces. The truth is that real progress doesn't come from recycling slogans, hiding behind hashtags, or dodging uncomfortable questions, but from putting in the hard work, making difficult decisions, and facing truths that sting. Crockett hasn't reached that point yet, and with the current trajectory, she may never get there. While she's busy perfecting her next Instagram selfie or drafting another vague reform that reads well in a press release but fades in the real world, the public is left watching the political equivalent of a reality show that promises drama, conflict, and shocking reveals, yet delivers nothing but filler episodes. And this isn't just her issue. When politicians can coast on appearances instead of results, when the game is more about hashtags than hard work, everyone loses, communities remain stagnant, real problems go unsolved, and politics turns into nothing more than a stage performance designed for viral clips. If you're tired of hollow speeches and political smoke screens, hit that like button, subscribe for more straight-to-the-point breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one.